Willkommen zurück.
My pulse raced at the astounding accomplishments of the mercenary known as Demon Lord. I forgot about my job and read everything I had on hand. Around the time Demon Lord received his nickname, South Belka showed signs of weariness regarding the war. Because the region was set up as a defense line to protect the birthplace of Belka in the north, the people's dissatisfaction had reached a climax. The cities declared themselves demilitarized and peacefully surrendered to the Allied forces. Unable to establish a defensive position, the Belkan army kept retreating to the north. The end of the war was fast approaching. I was given an opportunity to interview the former aces of the Belkan Air Force. Back then, they were the masters of the sky, and they had also known him. So I crossed the border to follow his trail. I wanted to capture the war and the Demon Lord from their point of view, to capture the voices of those who were there. Indigo Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 7th Air Division, 51st Tactical Fighter Squadron, Dmitri Heinrich, an ace whose precision and grace in flying earned him the title of Blue Heron. Today he has his hands full with the family business.
Well, that day, right before I deployed, my airspace assignment was changed. Initially, my squadron was assigned to the stable Eastern Front. That was changed to Area B7R, the round table where casualties were recorded at a fearsome pace. It's also the place where I met him. It was just two planes, him and an eagle. And yet our lead force didn't stand a chance against them. I could tell he was good, and it was going to be bad for us. But there was something else I noticed. He hesitated. A vulnerability that can be exploited. I was certain I would win. The pilot was still young. He had yet to master the rules of combat. But in the end, I was shot down.
Gelb Team is number 2, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 5th Air Division, 23rd Tactical Fighter Squadron, Rainer Altman. He flew the skies of Directus during the capital's liberation, and he's still there to this day.
I met him above this very sky. I can still hear the sound of the missile alerts from that day. I received an order to fly to Directus on my way back from an intercept mission on the southern defense line. The order itself wasn't unusual. We kept being deployed from one mission to the next without receiving even the basic maintenance. But the situation was the same all around. We were late reaching the operational space. The station squadrons had already retreated, and warning bells were going off in the city. And the people were looking up to his plane, high above the sky. I couldn't see any emotion in his maneuvers. I didn't feel like I was fighting against a human being. I wanted to end that battle as quickly as possible.
Silber Team Commander, former member of the Belkan Air Force, 51st Air Division, 126th Tactical Fighter Squadron, Dietrich Kellerman. He was once the top ace at Belka and a fiery instructor at the Air Force Academy. In 1995, the Belkan Air Force sent him to the front lines to bolster troop morale.
He was good. From what I'd heard about him, I thought he was still just a young mercenary. But he matured since then. He still wasn't perfect, but I could see he had come a long way towards understanding the rules of combat. What's important on the battlefield is to let go of hate, to survive, and to adhere to the rules you've set for yourself. These are the rules I've taught my students. And when I saw him, I could tell my time was done. A new generation had inherited the sky. There was no more need for an old soldier like me.
Every time I flew with him, his skill stood out. He was unstoppable. He was cool-headed and proud. A combat professional. Demon Lord fit him perfectly. Maybe the man was blessed by the goddess of war. Before long, everyone had taken notice of him. More and more would show up to watch him go off on sortie. Mercenaries or maintenance crew, it didn't matter. People wanted to burn his image to their memories. Hell, they weren't the only ones.
The Inferno. Mission Nummer 11. Coole Szenen gerade.
The Belkan forces are beginning to take flight. The industrial city of Hoffnung is crucial to the enemy's industrial strategy and the heart of its war productions. The Allied forces have decided that all Belkan war production must be stopped to expedite the end of the war, and has requested our participation in this operation. The operation will primarily involve the bombing of ground facilities by the Allied forces' bombers. Your mission is to support those bombers and attack enemy facilities. We have achieved near total air supremacy over the target area, but don't let your guard down. There may still be sporadic resistance.
Ja, okay, die nächste Mission steht an. Eine ziemlich coole Idee, dass wir die Asse nochmal sehen durften, richtig? Und dass die auch über uns gesprochen haben. Die wir bisher erlebt haben, die wir abgeschossen haben. Sehr interessant. Offensichtlich hat dann ja auch der Lehrer überlebt. Ich hoffe, seine Schüler auch. Aber das wollte ich dieses Mal noch rausfinden. Aber offensichtlich hat er überlebt, ist ja gut. Immerhin. So, der Feind ist auf dem Rückzug. Wir verfolgen ihn noch. Jetzt geht es in die Industriezone. Hatten wir neue Flugzeuge bekommen letztes Mal? Ich weiß es gar nicht mehr, ehrlich gesagt. Bin mir echt nicht mehr sicher, welche von denen wir es schon hatten und welche nicht, oder ob alle davon schon hatten. Kann ich leider nicht mehr sicher sagen. Gucken wir mal eben kurz im A-Style. Und dann in der Galerie, die Assault Records. Da dürften ja neue Einträge sein. Da sind sie auch schon. Dietrich Kellermann. Ja, das war der Lehrer, ne? Haben wir gerade gesehen. Operation Battle Axe shot down. Joining the Belkan Air Force in the 70s, he made a name for himself as a Silver Eagle. He retired from service in the 90s, but at the outbreak of the Balkan War, once again returned to service. On May 28, 1995, he was shot down and again retired from service. He's now quietly living out his days in the remote countryside. Das war einer seiner Schüler. Shot down in B7R. He miraculously survived, but because he was forced to land within Ustio territory, he was captured and made a prisoner of war. Stefan Enders, Silber 3. Operation Battle Axe killed in action. Oh, okay. Nicht alle überlegt, aber muss man von ausgehen, ne? Shot down on B7R, his aircraft slammed into the surrounding mountains, exploding in flames, and received extensive damage. Oh, da war noch mehr. It was only after much effort that the aircraft serial number could be retrieved and the pilot identified. The pilot's remains were sent to a surviving family in his home country. Ich frage mich gerade, ob ich schon öfter nicht oft genug More gedrückt habe. Missing in action, Sven Brutlack. He is listed as missing in action during an operation in B7R. He reported attack condition in his last transmission, but further details analyze was not possible due to heavy noises. No searches were conducted. Okay, man hat immer nach ihm gesucht, okay. Aber auch tot, wow. Sebastian Hackenberg. He was a natural pilot who graduated the military academy with top honors and sortied over 100 times during the Belkan War. In accordance with his last will and testament, his inheritance was left to the War Orphans Fund. Okay, wow. Noch bedauerlicher, dass er gestorben ist da, ne? Shot down. Transferred from the Navy, Florian Herzog, to the 3rd Air Division 19 Tactical Fighter Squadron in 1992. After being shot down by the Gulf fight, he became a political activist for the Ralt Party, but in 1996 he disappeared when Waldemar Ralt was brought down. Okay. Killed in action. Ja, die meisten sind echt gestorben, ne? Also, gut, einer ist missing, aber sehr wahrscheinlich wird auch tot, keine Ahnung. A member of the Belkan Navy, he flew in the 2nd position of the Grau Orca Squadron. Moment, oh, die beiden gehören schon gar nicht mehr selber dazu, das ist eine andere Truppe gewesen. Ah, okay. While serving in the Navy, he maintained naval air supremacy alongside Commander Herzog. He died in B-7R battle when his plane was shot down by the Garm flight. Okay, das war's, glaube ich, auch wieder. Das heißt, wir können endlich wieder in einen Einsatz starten. Sah viel nach Ground Attacks aus, ne? Dann schauen wir, welches Flugzeug wir mitnehmen werden. Eigentlich ist die Su-37 eigentlich mal eine gute Anlage, ne? Die ist halt so dermaßen gut, dass ich kaum Grund habe, andere zu picken. Let's go. Dann du bitte Ground Combat Waffen mit, wenn ich schon keine dabei habe. Und auch für den nächsten Einsatz. Hoffnung. Die Stadt Hoffnung.
Calm to all units. I've confirmed a burning city up ahead. That must mean the bombing started.
Cover the Allied bombers. Eliminate all ground and aerial threats.
Okay.
Let's move. Roger.
Du kannst frei angreifen und deine Waffen benutzen, wie du willst. Let's go. Machen wir ein schnelles Ende.
To all bombers, remove Belkan's ability to counterattack. Priority is placed on destruction over accuracy.
Gut, die Fabriken greifen wir nicht an.
Initiate bombing sequence. Drop them all. Turn it to ashes. That's not enough. Drop more bombs. I thought they were on a precision bombing mission. They're just tossing bombs all over the place.
SAM destroyed.
Die scheinen es gar nicht zu erwarten, oder? Die SAM haben sich mal gewehrt, ehrlich gesagt.
Radar lock. AA guns destroyed.
Jetzt schießen sie auf uns, okay.
Locked on. Attention Allied fighters. Our tank unit's advancing to Sector 2, but some Belkan planes are giving us trouble. Take down those planes for us.
This is PJ. Something strange is going on down there. The number of burning areas just suddenly increased. All units. This is a word from Operation HQ. Abandon Hoffnung. However, do not retreat until all facilities are destroyed. Leave them nothing. That is all.
Ich habe mitbekommen, dass unsere Leute Hilfe brauchen hier. Okay, das verbleibende Militär scheint die Stadt selber auch noch in Flammen zu stecken. Ganz verbrannte Erde-like. Bei diesen Nachtmissionen ist es besonders matschig noch, ne? Das ist sehr bedauerlich, aber es ist, wie es ist. So, letzten Ziele. Ja, Mist. Ich hätte die Rakete noch nicht wieder bereit. Der Cooldown hat aber zu lange gedauert.
Get out of Hoffnung. We don't have anything more to do here.
Da scheint vor allem die Flieger abgetaucht zu sein, die auch mein Ziel jetzt sind. Also, let's go. Einen habe ich erwischt, den anderen leider nicht.
So this is the price we pay for losing. Hoffnung has fallen to the Allied forces. Even Hoffnung is falling. What has become
Hey!
of the Air Force?
Wer schießt denn da auf mich, ja? Der Pelikan. Okay. Wieder so ein Ass. Einzelnes Ass.
Move to the left and drop the payload.
So, ein roter fehlt mir noch. Also, let's go.
The flames are spreading. Belkan City's gonna burn to the ground.
Zwei sogar noch, okay.
How are we supposed to do that?
We're carrying a wounded soldier.
Double Rocket. No hits.
Release all bombs before you get shot down.
Wieder keine Hits. Dann halt Single Combat hier. Ein Hit, sehr gut. Das war's. Einer noch. Könnte der letzte sein. Wenn hier keine Überraschung mehr kommen in der Mission. Hab ihn.
The city's going up in flames.
DJ ist auch wieder dabei, ne?
Learn to accept it, kid. This is war. You expect me to believe that arson and indiscriminate bombing is war? There's no mercy in war. It's a collision of powers. Even war has a set of rules to follow.
Mission Update.
I've detected an unknown craft on radar. The blip is barely visible. It may be a stone.
Destroy them all.
Ist down.
I won't let them get back alive.
Wie viel sind das bitte? Wow, das sind mehr als ich dachte. Oh, das war knapp.
Burn them to the ground.
Okay, ich werde gerade ein bisschen umzingelt von den dreien hier. Das ist unangenehm. Da sind vier sogar noch. 4 Stück, wow.
I've been hit.
Den habe ich.
Come team, engage.
Ich sehe ihn jetzt mehr. Ah, die haben von ihnen im komischen Stealth-Flugzeug gesprochen, oder? Aber die Karte ist gerade verdeckt. Hier ist es kein Stealth, das ist wahrscheinlich so ein Jamming-Device, weil ich jetzt mal wieder gar nichts mehr sehen kann. Wer ist dafür zuständig? Wer macht das?
I'm being targeted. I can't shake him.
Okay, ich bin wieder rausgeflogen. Das heißt, jetzt irgendwo in diesem Bereich. Wenn ich jetzt straight fliege, müsste ich ihn irgendwo... Da. Du wahrscheinlich, oder? Wolkenwand.
Who could have shot me down?
Ja, der war's. Jetzt sehe ich wieder klar auf dem Radar. Sehr gut.
This is Bomb Unit 3. I'm taking enemy fire. What happened to our escort planes? They'll pay for what they've done to Belkan.
das war's. Okay.
Down all Belkan fighters.
Da brennt die Hoffnung, ne?
Our priority is withdrawing the troops out of the area. Abandon Block D. Join up with 5th Company from Block C. Don't leave anything behind for the Allied forces. Mission objective fulfilled. All units, return to base. Damn them all.
Nobody knew why they were fighting anymore. All I felt at that point was sadness for the world. That's why
Pixie wird ein bisschen edgy, habe ich das Gefühl, ne? That's why I was. Was hast du getan, Pixie? Okay.
Pursued by Allied forces, the Belkan forces have taken flight, abandoning Hoffno. Without military production capabilities, Belka is in a bind. We were also able to confiscate samples of what seemed to be experimental weapons from the abandoned war factories, before Belka had time to use them.
Abandoned Hoffnung. Wow. Gut, natürlich wieder eine rein Knightly-Truppe hier, die wir gemacht haben. Lief sehr gut für uns. Und dann würde ich sagen, wir kriegen neue Assault Records. Ja, stimmt, wir haben 1 oder 2 abgeschossen mit dem Namen. Waren sogar 2, oder? Bin mir gar nicht so sicher gerade. Nun ja, keine neuen Flugzeuge. Ich danke euch fürs Zusehen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, bye.